about right? Welcome. I am very excited about this meeting. I'm glad that you could all make the weather tonight. It looked a little down yesterday, but talking to Sean, he's having the meeting. So Jim Lean, the chapter chair, couldn't make it tonight, and Dover, the past chair, couldn't make it tonight. So you're stuck with me. Okay. And it's going to be a great program. But before we get started with the program, I just want to do a little chapter maintenance here. So our chapter is growing, and that's a good sign. And I have to say, even though Sean's doing the meeting tonight, he has a lot to do with the chapter growing. It's great to have you on board. Also, we've got some more members from Harrisburg and Lancaster, So before I get into the announcement of the meeting, I would like to just start with this table here. Derek, why don't you announce who you work for and who you are and your title, and so everybody can get to know each other.
Derek Flickinger, I'm a product I'm a Comcast. Loving what I'm doing.
Greg. That table there? Okay. Paul? Same table, all the students there? Come on. Dad? All right, thanks. Yeah, please get to know each other. Oh, sorry. Chuck Deal, Evert's Microsystems, been in sports, and now I'm an account manager at Evert's Microsystems. So, anytime you want to call me, give me a shout. I'd help you out with your career or whatever. With that, I'd like to just say a few words about the membership. I joined SMPTE, I think in '89, not to show my age, but I was very frustrated back then. There was different protocols, and SMPTE would be doing standards. SMPTE is a great society because not only do they do standards, but you get to network. And without SMPTE, I don't think I would be where I am today. It's an important place to have a monthly meeting. You get to meet and greet. You share stories. You can fix problems. And as of tonight, see new technologies that Sean does. I can't talk enough about SMPTE on that front. So I think part of the program was, Derek, you wanted to say a few words? And then we'll get on with the meeting with Sean, which will give us a virtual tour of the facilities.
John, I'd like to see you a sec, please. I'd like to welcome everyone. This is a unique meeting for us. As you probably know, we're starting, hopefully, a student chapter as part of our SMPTE program. Sean's been instrumental in getting a lot of it going. Since it is a university and we have students presenting tonight, I happen to have written a book and I wanted to donate it to Sean's library for the students that might be interested in reading it. HDMI Uncensored, as my wife says. So let me understand, you wrote a 140-page book about a wire? I said, well, it's a little more than a wire. So I put inside, there's more to a cable than meets the eye. So
Thank you
for your library.
Thank you very much.
So, Sean, take it away.
Okay. For those people watching at home, don't worry, we are going to be moving soon, so you're going to see more than a wide shot of our nice wall, but it's really great marketing and advertising too. My name is Sean McDonald, and I am the director of Neumann Media. I have the most fun job on this campus, and anyone that you ask that's employed here will tell you the same thing. I get to play with really expensive toys and teach students how to use them so that when they come to some of you for a job, you're not really spending too much time training them. My job started in 2008, but I got into professional broadcasting in 2006 when I interned for the engineering department of Greater Media under Rodney Bird. So MMR, MGK, Ben FM, at the time WJJZ, now it's The Fanatic. I learned how to do radio, somewhat. And right around the time I was going to graduate, Neumann built a radio station, and they had no one to run it. So I said, I know something. I didn't know that much. But I knew how to screw up and how to learn from my mistakes. And I made it so that when I graduated that August, the radio station would stop working if they didn't hire me. Job security. And I started here. I moved up in professional radio. I was doing production. I was doing producing for Andre Gardner on MGK. I was doing things with the MMR, all while keeping this station going. We were an internet-only station. About 4 years ago, we went FM. So I guided us through that process. And 3 years ago, I built the building that we're standing in through a lot of hard work and a lot of mistakes and learning with my students. I was a radio guy who had to learn how to do television. People didn't really use the facilities that we had here. The students were the ones that pushed for it. If it wasn't for the student body at Neumann University, Neumann Media would never be here. They won an Emmy their first year as a TV station for their sports broadcasting. They are the motivators. And it really is exciting to be with students because they're growing up on technology. So when they come to us already knowing how to do all of these things, but they don't know the technology behind it or the theory behind it, that's what excites me. I get to teach them how all of this stuff works on a bigger level. The building that we're standing in was opened in October of 2016, and I had one shot to do it right. So every room can talk. There is audio over IP and video over IP, as well as copper run through every room. There are 2 PTZs right now in this room. I can also send a feed of master control to this room and to all of the screens in all of the rooms in the building. No matter where we are, we can go on the air. That was a big thing for me. Because I run radio, we also are running Livewire, audio over IP. But Livewire also needs to talk to my television stuff, so we're running Dante as well. We are connected to every building on campus. So I can broadcast a pregame, halftime, postgame show over here, and then take all the feeds, including instant replay, Chiron, from across the street in our arena. So we can do it all on our network here. The big challenge for us was, after we designed it, was coming in here and actually putting it to use. And I think so far, as you can see with our Steadicam running around here, we're growing, we're having a lot of fun, and we are really trying to think outside of the box when it comes to broadcasting. The people that said that they were from Neumann didn't tell you what they did. 2 of them are video people with a combined 50 plus years in the industry. You can figure out which one's which. Irv. What's different about how we do things at Neumann is we make sure that there are professionals teaching our students. They're doing this, they're still in the professional world. They are still actively out in the field. They're not somebody with 3 letters after their name who hasn't set foot into the field in 20 years. So we make sure that they're getting real experience, and then we're hooking them up with real people like some of the professionals in this room to intern with. Right now, one of our freshmen who's currently doing the switcher back in our control room, he's interning for Center City Video as a freshman. You know, we are really about giving them experiential learning. And it's because of the students that we get to continue to expand our capabilities. We're taking more outside work in and giving students hands-on experience in the field. They're working with the Delaware County District Attorney's Office right now for a second chance video project for opioid addictions and first-time offenders that have been arrested, so that our students are going out there. They're doing that. We get to have a lot of fun, and the technology behind it is even more fun. So I would like to actually take us on a walking tour of the facility. So if you're game, feel free to follow me. If not, you want to break off, the students are going to go into the other parts of the building and they'll be able to answer questions for you. But we're going to start by going out to where we first began. I hope this is live, Jake. All right. Students, feel free to go where you want to go. By the way, our Steadicam op is Sean. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi, I'm Sean Spence. Hi.
Okay, cool.
I'm a Neumann University student. I also work at Beasley now too.
Okay.
Kind of.
So the idea was every space should be able to be utilized. This television, while nice and pretty and 90 inches, is also connected to our video network, so we can use it for another viewing space out here. It's really great when we do things like our graduations. We stream it in here. We set seats up out here in this small area. We have lines in our theater, and then we also have a 300-seat nursing lab down the hill that we also stream to. All of them are running New Tech TriCasters. Our backbone here is Blackmagic 72 by 72 router, and all of our TriCasters have the NDI protocol on them, so we are sending everything on its own video VLAN. It's a dedicated VLAN just for us across campus. You'll give it.
Ask a question.
Sure.
Did you have an integrator do this, or was it all in?
So it's a combo. Like I said, I didn't know much about TV, so I had gone up to the studios at B&H, and I said, this is what we own here. This is what I wanted to do. And they helped me pick the equipment, and then we had Total Video Products in Jersey, did the integration, because the guy that was my boss actually had left there to become a project manager. So they came in with the best price and bid, and they helped put it in, but I designed it all. Good question. So there's 2 digital sign players hooked up in here, as well as 2 cable boxes that we can route things to, and a master control feed. So we can utilize this space for a lot of different things. Thursday night football is big. We have things over in this big hall that we were in, but we also wanted to do something for people that may not be sports fans. So we put on like Grey's Anatomy and stuff out here. They watched it. So we had two different events happening in the same spaces. So we really wanted to be able to have flexibility. You also notice that there's no static furniture that belongs here, like a front desk, because we wanted it to be a space that could be, striked at any time and be able to do different types of events.
What's the video back
It's a gigabit.
running all that?
Well, no, sorry. The core, correct, gigabit endpoints. I honestly couldn't tell you. I can ask the network person for you. Once it gets past a certain point, I don't want to know the answers. We do have fiber lines running to all the different buildings, though, so everything is connected via fiber, and then there's a core switch in the building right next door. Any other questions? This lovely thing behind us. Why don't you get a shot of this? The mural was actually painted by one of our alums. Came back to paint the hallways for us because it was a communications building that looked sterile and white. So I wanted some diversity in color. So we're going to go. First stop will be in our radio suite. So let's head this way. Oh, wow, look at that. Hey, Maris, can you turn the radio down real quick? Just want people to be able to come in. So we have 3 radio studios. And, turn the TV volume down. So we have 3 radio studios. My office is one. This is our production studio over here. And then the main air studio is what we're about to walk into. We are running Axia consoles, so it's all Livewire as our audio over IP. We have video inputs, as you can see right even here on the wall plate. We have video ins and outs in each one of these rooms. Any room that has a television on it, that's where the output from the Blackmagic is going to. But then we have ins throughout the rest of the room.
And
We are right here live, so why don't we come on in? Hello. And we do have a camera set up too. So Jake, if you could just switch to the other camera. There you go. So Jake just switched over to that camera too. And we have a little bit of inception going on the screen. We do simulcast for radio and TV. So I have sports programming that will do 45 minutes up here in the studio. They run down, especially during football, for their Sunday picks. And they go live on our YouTube stream, our Facebook live stream, and we simulcast the audio back over here. Correct. This is FM and web streamed. So, like I said, everything in here is being converted into audio over IP through the Livewire protocol. It is AES 67 plus compliant, but it doesn't talk with Dante nicely, so I use nodes to make that happen, inputs and outputs that way. This is Amaris and Ria. They both are part of our broadcast team here.
What is the tool, or what's the goal? Whatever, using like.
So we are using, not wide orbit. We are using Zeta automation, which is from RCS. So that is doing all of our playout. We have a Comrex Access as our STL. I have a backup of a Barracks end streamer, and then I have an iPod out at the transmitter in case those two go down. They do get refreshed every month or two. I'll refresh the music that's out there. So if something happens, like ice today and we lose a connection, we have something that still sounds fresh and it's not dated music. We have a system in the back called Pathfinder. Pathfinder detects our silence. It detects if a student forgot to put it back into automatic. It will do a silent search. It will alert me if they've accidentally used all of the dump button up. Not that that's ever happened. Accidentally. Super Bowl Sunday last year. Luckily, we were in safe harbor hours. They hit the button. But all of the switching between the studios is all being done on a Pathfinder server. It allows all the buttons to work here because since it's an AOIP board, there's no soldering or anything like that. It's all computer driven. The other studios, all of the equipment came from our old facility, which is in the basement of the academic building, but they all talk. They all have mirroring automation systems. So whatever we do on one, we're doing and updating on the other. And if we have to, we can quickly, with a 2-button press, switch between the different studios. We also have 2 editing suites at the end of the building that are Wenger rooms. They're also a part of our audio and video network. So if we absolutely have to, we could broadcast on a regular Dell computer in one of our backup editing suites.
What's the,
So we are a Adobe school. I do have Pro Tools and I have Logic. I'll teach some of them, but for the most part, they're learning the basic stuff in the Adobe suite.
Where's your transmitter located?
Around the corner, actually.
On campus?
No, so about a half a mile down the road at Kent Road. You can actually see our tower as soon as you walk out of the building. On nice days. We are a 75-watt station, but we are 276 feet high. We are LPFM, but our height gets us a nice coverage. We get it in Wilmington. I get it through parts of South Jersey. I get it out to my house in Westchester on good days. 98.5 WNUW. There's a giant poster behind you, Steve, that has it on there. Oh, it's right here.
And your microphone's going directly to him then, right?
So the feed from the other room is being fed back to the control room.
Because the access points for sure you can't roam, right?
Yep.
So you're going to him and then they
No, I'm going in through
you're
that room
picking
still.
up in there?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And in case I didn't, I had backup here, and we can switch
okay.
over to embedded audio. I think of backup plans. And when we get halfway through the building, I have a second mic to pick up that I'll swap off with. Good. All I'm doing is giving you a tour, so I'm doing okay. Any other questions while
When
we're...
you say you broadcast out over IP, do you broadcast outside of the campus, like to a live feed somewhere that anybody could watch, or is it pretty much within the campus and live?
No, it's live on our YouTube page. We have a Telview Cloudcast is also what we use as our main streaming tool. So we use them for all of our big stuff, our games, our graduations. They're who we stream to, but we stream it right to our website. So it's embedded, and it also goes to our app. So we do have a Neumann Media app. It has our radio feed, it has our website in it, our YouTube collection, and our live video. It's powered through Jacobs Media.
are most of your students watching on this?
They are. For a lot of them are, which is great. But we also have we're tied in with Google Analytics too, so we can see down to what device operating system they're using. So it is very handy. Any other questions
Why
for
is
the?
it not on Facebook?
Oh, I do. I'll put it on Facebook Live as well. It just depends on the audience that we're going for. I don't want to water down our brand by sending everything to Facebook Live. I'd like.
And what is the troubleshooting?
In which sense?
It's a very broad. Something goes wrong.
They have been trained to go through at least 2 steps before they call Sean. So they will tell you, Sean is nodding his head back here. I tell him you have to have a backup plan B, C, D, and E, and F is call Sean McDonald. So yeah, it is sometimes the word that might come out before I answer the phone. But I go through basic troubleshooting. And like I said too, at least the radio station in particular, it's smart enough that if something happens, they screw up, it's going to try to autocorrect itself before it starts to really alert me. So it will do, a sniffer and see there's no audio playing. Is automation turned on? Is it in auto? So I have detection stuff built in first. So even if they screw up, the system's going to take care of things. And then they call. I'll still get lovely emails. We personalized them. Some of them call me the Great Red One, since those of you that see me, I have red hair. So it'll say, oh, there's no audio playing at the transmitter. Oh, Great Red One. So if I'm going to get off-air alerts, I'm going to at least make them comical. The rest of it, the older students are the ones training them on what they look for. So when they get trained on it, they learn signal flow and how it flows from here to the end game. They have to know it. Otherwise.
Do you do live musicians?
Yep.
Run that out?
Yep. If you looked at on our digital sign players, you'll see that there's some of our in-studio sessions.
Okay.
Any other?
Better setup than a lot of the older studios.
That's what I've been told.
People come from.
Sean, if you can over here, well, you can sort of see the plate. I do have Dante and Livewire hookups in the wall too, so that we can hook up nodes and be able to just plug a band in right over here, move the furniture out, put a stool in. We want to make sure that we can do that.
And how do you manage the Dante channels?
I have Dante controller on a machine in the back.
Manager.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions for this room? Well, our Friday show basically utilizes all of them. They do an evening show right after we finish doing our weekly news broadcast. So we do a half an hour on the air, on the television. We do a 30-minute recall of what we just did. And then 6 of them are in here doing a Friday night show. It's sort of like a Friday night morning show. The only morning show at night.
We got tired of waking.
They did. They used to do it on Mondays. I mean, Friday mornings, and they got really tired of having to wake up early. So they just transferred it to a different time. But we'll also do specialty things. We're active in the College Radio Foundation, so we do Vinyl-thon on Record Store Day. We participate in College Radio Day. We still spin records. We still teach students how to use a record player. So we make sure that, yeah.
For something other than scratching.
And I do make sure that students have the ability, if they want to flex their creativity and they want to bring in a bunch of people for an interview or a podcast or whatever, this studio can do that. We can route it to be not on the air, and they can have 6 people in here recording a podcast in the same room. So we actually ended up having to put 2 more C414s into this room because we outgrew how many people were on the air at one time. Even though I could put them in that room, the window is rather small, as Sean can show. It's rather small to see what they're doing in that room. So I just added 2 more. Any other questions? Okay, then let's head out this way. All of the machines are out here in the rack, so I made sure there's no fans in the main studio. Hey, Mike, I'm going to probably swap mics. Can you come down here and get it ready for me? So Irv's office is right here. He's got he's our video coordinator, so he's doing all of our shoots and edits. We have a meeting space. Why don't we hang out in here? Let's go check this out. So the students can come in here and hang out. It's a meeting area, but it's also a great homework area, hangout space. Audio, video hookups again. Like I said, if you want to, we have our internal Blackmagic 72 by 72 router. You hit our new view button, and whatever is in program is going to show up, and it's me. And now we're doing Inception again.
So all the lighting in the rooms, you bring in portable LED lighting if video?
So we have an RE kit, and we have 2 Diva lights, which you'll actually see we have some of our remote gear set up. So yeah, we'll take it out on location, or we'll bring it up into a different room if we don't have sufficient lighting in here. I'm not a big fan of fluorescent lighting, so these are Philip Hue bulbs in here, so we can have a detector whenever someone walks in. They just automatically turn on, kind of sets it to feel like home for them, because for a lot of the students, this is their home away from their dorm. So I try to make it be comfortable for them. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're sitting in an office when you're at school. Any other? Again, audio video lines in here. There's Dante hookups in here. There's Axia hookups in here and video hookups, because you never know when you're going to need it. We actually did a shoot in this room last week. I had a band play on that couch, so I want to be ready for anything.
What are the different applications, or how is it?
So that's actually a great thing that I actually didn't hit. So we have an academic major called Communication and Digital Media. I am not a part of the academic major. I am a co-curricular. Support the academic program. So all of the gear belongs to my department. We make sure that we maintain it, we sign it out. Program management system, and we will help support the classroom spaces, which are actually the TV studios. In hand with our academic program, but we are independent.
What are the academic
So it is communication and digital media. That's the communication program here. We are supporting a lot of different programs though, because they're seeing how much we cross into it.
going to be some sort of elective?
That is correct. So we make sure that we are working really close, especially with our sports management program. Our nursing program, they just built a whole new addition down the hill for nursing, health sciences, and athletic training. We hooked it up with Sony IP cameras in every room with Extron. Need the he really believed modern. Which is great. We're also okay. Apparently my mic is not. Is it cutting out? Oh, okay.
So I was asking one of your other instructors, are you doing all of your marketing materials now that we see on TV? So the ads that we see advertising for Neumann, are you
That
doing
was-
that in-house or out of
We have started to pick that up this past academic semester. We've been doing a lot more. There's been a lot less work going outside of the company. And that's what we want. We want it to be more in-house so that the students are able to actually learn how to do this in a shoot environment. Tomorrow, we're doing a cooking demonstration with our VP of Academic Affairs. So we're going to teach them how to do a 3-camera shoot as if they were on a set for food. They prep stuff already, so they're really getting to learn pre-production and everything. And the more we can give them the opportunity to go out and do it on our campus and not hire someone else, the better they're going to be prepared to go into the business world. Absolutely better for their portfolio.
On the ads and all, how do you less those, or is it just
No, the PR and marketing people call us and say, this is what we want.
so they're driving?
So they're driving it, but we really, Irv especially, since Irv came on in August, we really have pushed to have it stay in-house. And so far it's been working. Oh, I have.
exactly it.
Trust me, I have been. I know how many people changed majors. I know how many people were undecideds and matriculated over. I know how many people are looking at us. Like, yeah, we really want to make sure that they get what they see and they're not going to be bait and switched. Yes, freshmen especially. First day on campus, I want you in here. I want you to mess up early so that by your second semester, you're not messing up. The mistakes are no longer happening and we can do more.
The other two chapters, I'll say, is advanced in this. I think this is quite an opportunity, and I understand why this would be a great. Are there other schools?
There are other schools that are talking about this. Most of them are still tied to an academic program. Since I'm live and I'm being recorded, I'm not going to name school names, but I'm working with several of them. I'm also talking to people outside of this chapter. So I had Loyola University up here, Herbert J. Dunmore, and Carl Kuhn. I know he works a lot with Loyola. We went down there, they came up here, and then we went to Montclair State. And the three of us have been trying to find ways to get students to work across markets so that they can really learn and network and see. We're not trying to steal you from another school. We're trying to give you opportunities and expose you to people that are connected and can get you a job. So far, I haven't found anybody doing it the way I do it, which is good. Come to Neumann. Okay, let's keep going. First, if I did my audio. All right, swap out. Cool. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna head over to the green room. Switch mics. Make sure we're not out of range. So we do have a green room for our guests. Check. Happen.
Mics again.
Okay. Mics again. I see my audio, so this is good.
What's your, I'll say, hiring rate, or somebody how long have you had graduates, and what's their success rate of getting jobs right out?
That's a great question because I never actually was the one in charge of finding that data, and now I'm trying to backfill that information out. I know that I have directly. I can't speak for the major. Every year I've got students that are getting pretty decent. Who's now at QVC as a nights for QVC. He was at Q2. We get people in pretty decent jobs. Mike, who just came in here to swap the microphones out, he was in Atlanta last week doing lighting designing for the Super Bowl Music Festival. They didn't really get to flex their muscles. They're all very shy about, I'm a Neumann student, but they're really talented kids. They're doing stuff at World Cafe Live. They're doing things for big name venues, Live Nation venues, as students. So they're getting great experience here, and then they're going right on and getting things pretty quickly.
Getting all the lighting design and everything here.
Yeah, I mean, the two of them, Mike and Andrew, they've been doing it since they were in high school. They were learning, and then they get opportunities here to start But if I have the tools, they're free to play with it and learn. So again, audio video hookups, as you can see, and this is a feed coming in from our control room, which we'll start to head up towards. So we do have a rental shop. We have 24 camera kits that the students can sign out. The FS7 that you saw in the in the green room, and a Canon C100, they're what Irv uses. But the students can sign out lab kits. They can sign out. Do I drop again? Oh, hold up here. I got it. They can sign out lab kits. I have shotgun kits. I've got condenser mics. I've got an RE kit. Other small LED panels. There's 24 camera kits at the moment. I'm adding another 10 for new fiscal year. Currently, we have 20 in one class and 15 in the other, so 35 students taking video production courses. That's just intro to video. I'm teaching a television and a sports broadcasting class. That's got another 20. So we're kind of running out of cameras, which is a good problem to have.
Do they have to be checked out before you let them take them? Somebody can't just walk in and say, I want to borrow a camera.
They need it. Well, one, we get all of their information. We get their ID number. We get everything. So if they break it, they bought it. I can put it right to their bill. But we do go over. We make sure that they know what they're doing first.
How do you service your equipment? I mean, you have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of students touching. You have a maintenance department, or do you just have service agreements with the vendors?
You're looking at them. Most of the stuff we can do cleaning and stuff in-house. Most of it's also pretty new, so we haven't really had any issues at the moment, but we do have some service agreements with other companies that can at least look over things before I send it back.
Somebody on the line wanted to know what you use checkout software for.
Yeah, so we use Studio Suite. That's our inventory management. There is an online portal that I'm hoping to push out soon for them, but they're going to be able to reserve things online. We've already barcoded every piece of equipment in there down to tripods. So, and batteries. We did batteries too because we were crazy. But I have federal work study students, so they are the ones that are maintaining the shop and all this stuff that goes in it. So let's go into here. So this is one of our TV studios. So this is our communication lab, our multipurpose communications lab. The idea was to make sure that there was similar things in both studios, but I lovingly refer this as the Screw It Up lab. So the equipment that was in our old television station, which is some older P2s, that all came over into this room. They can learn on the equipment in here before they go in and they use all of my new stuff. The one piece that I wanted to make sure we had was a same type of lighting rig in both. We didn't really have great lights in the old studios, so I made sure that we had identical lighting grids over there. So each of the floor pockets have power, video in, so BNC in, BNC out, teleprompter, and tally light connections in there. And then we also have some space. I did leave fish line in case we had to add something else in there. All of it's going into this control room or into the space in between, which is master control, which we'll get to. There are audio hookups up front as well, 4 XLR ins, and then there are 2 Telex IFB lines in here as well, hardwired lines. For the most part, we only use this for learning purposes, but we've recently added this studio space. Jared here is our sports reporter, so we actually break it up by having him and his co-host Leonard do the sports in here while we're doing the rest of the broadcast in the other space. Really, because we built the infrastructure, let's use it.
Do you do closed captioning for what you put out?
Afterwards, yes, I have been looking at a couple of different things that will inject it instantly as we're doing it, because AI is becoming pretty damn cool with captioning up front. And we have to make sure that what we put out is American Disability Act ready because of us being an institution, a college institution. So we need to make sure that we are equal opportunity for that. So we are actively looking for the best solution. In the interim, Google Dictate is really great for giving me quick transcriptions about what I did. Any other questions?
And what are you using for your teleprompter software?
Auto cue?
Now, the clip that's running there, was that produced in-house or?
Some of them were, yes. We've been producing a lot of them. There's different ones for different seasons, but we've been adding to the collection. When they first started to rebrand the website, they had an outside company that they already had a contract with do some of that, but we've been doing a lot more. So as you dig deeper into the website, you'll find other departments. They now have video that we produced. Either Irv or the students had done it. Any other questions?
Was this just raw classroom space that you had to turn into a studio?
No. This was designed to be a multi-purpose space that could be television and a classroom. That's the reason that these tables can collapse. I want them to be moved out of here. We only put the gear shop in last year. It was really just a spot for us to store the tables. And Irv's office has a lot of built-in cabinets. But the video coordinator before Irv really would not want to be bugged by students all the time. So we built a shop. And then it also gave the students a sense of ownership of the gear. They got to learn how to use it. Andrew's one of our work studies. But they learned how this stuff works, what it is. Some of them have never touched it before. So it really kind of gave them another opportunity to learn by running the shop. So it became more of a classroom than initially intended.
It's interesting you don't put the clock in 24-hour minutes.
Because the person, well, we'll talk offline. I don't want to
I understand.
throw anybody under the bus. I'll take you through. Control.
Do the students, as you expand and put new things in, the students are doing all the installation of the equipment?
Some of them are helping me, yeah. Sean especially is one that wants to learn as much as he can. So if they want to learn how to do some of it, I will gladly teach them. They were helping us with racking equipment. Sean was helping. I started to teach some of them how to use the Livewire stuff, how to make it work. It's still kind of complicated to some of them, but I tell them, you need to know how this stuff operates. Even though I have an SOP, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, somebody's got to be able to pick up where I'm going. So ask questions. There's no dumb questions. I'll always give you what I can. If I don't know it, I'll direct you to somebody who can, or I'll find the answer.
Link to the manual.
RTFM.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how this is going to go, Sean. So far, it looks like it's working. This.
Oh, yeah.
So all of this equipment came over from our old studio. That's why it's so sparse with what we have. This is a TriCaster 8000. We're using a Soundcraft SI Expression 2. These Marshall monitors, they are easily 10 years old. Like I said, everything kind of came over from the old building. This was the Learn It lab, learn on what we have in here, and then you'll graduate to the other space.
Do you have an intercom system?
So well, I have two. I have one that's Axia based, which is an all IP intercom, and then funny you should ask. Last week I connected two Telex units together via Dante. So this unit and all the floor pockets out there talk to my control room over here, all going through the Dante protocol.
Yeah, portable units.
Mm-hmm. Portable units all plug into the floor pockets in the.
I guess mobile unit. Mobile intercom.
At the moment, no. There's nothing that's wireless. Everything is plug into the floor. For now, I haven't had a reason really yet to do it. Outside of this room, there's also hookups in the wall outside for intercom, video in, video out, in case we want to do a hit from outside or we want to take a feed from somebody. We have all of it in a side metal box outside, weatherproofed, in case we ever want to.
Do you have a broadcast truck or van or anything?
That's in my strategic plan.
All right. What are the ongoing or the recurring programs that you are
So
regular?
we produce a weekly 30-minute news show.
Okay.
A lot of them are freshmen and sophomores, so it's been a nice labor of love over the last year to grow it. But if you saw what we did a year ago to what they're doing now, it's really awesome. We do sports broadcasting. We were required by our conference to do basketball games. I teach a TV class and a sports broadcasting class that coincidentally meet at the same time. And when we had which also happened to fall on the same days and times as our broadcasts. So I actually had them, my TV class were thrown to the wolves on their first day, and they had to put on a broadcast having never touched a camera, some of them before, or a switcher. I told them, welcome to TV, this is how you learn. Someone's not going to teach you PowerPoint slides, and this is how we transmit video. No, go. I'll tell you what you did after you did it. And within 4 weeks, they were producing a halftime show and a pregame, post-game show for the two different sports. They had an hour and a half to prepare each class.
Sounds like you have motivated students, which is a good thing.
Well, fear kind of motivates. Right, Sean?
I was in that class. We were thrown to the wolves. It's not putting that way.
I said throw to the fire. Irv told me I threw them right into the depths of hell. So we're going to go through here into master control. All the racks are pretty much closed up, but you'll see, I mean, if you look really hard, there's a Blackmagic 72 by 72 router in there. Our PDM, which is our delay system for the radio station, is in there. Our STLs, our encoders are all in there. Our phone system, which is the Telos VX system, it's tied into our radio and TV studios. I do have Party Line and IFB coming through it. We have an encoder from VideoLink. Instead of buying their ReadyCam hookup, I just told them I spent $3 million on TV studios. I don't need it. Just give me your encoder. So we are a VideoLink capable hit spot. Coincidentally, they forgot to put in there a non-compete, so I'm open for business. And then there's what is it? Snapstream. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Snapstream. We use that for grabbing clips, getting things from plays of the games. It's a commercial DVR. That's how John Oliver, John Stewart, and all those guys always have a clip of whatever somebody said. It ingests closed captioning, and that's how you can Google search the drive, essentially. If you say Neumann University or Neumann or Newman, anything that hits it pops up. We can pull the clip. We can clip it, send it away over the web, or input it to our video server, which that's the other thing that we have. SNS, Studio Network Solutions, Evo. We have a 32 terabyte storage server in here. Half of it's for video, half of it is for audio and photos. Everything is metadata tagged. Students are ingesting it so that if they have to call up something, they need B-roll, they have the tags on it. They're learning how to do it now so that when they get to another spot, they're not saying, what's a metadata tag? So we do teach them that too.
What are you using for a digital asset management? For that.
It has its own share browser.
Share browser?
And we're using the web browser version of it as well as the share browser program that's installed on it.
How do you back that up?
We are also part of Google's University software.
Oh, wow.
So we have unlimited Google Drive space. So I do have it back up there as well.
Very cool.
And then we also have, for things that we really know are going to be assets that we can't lose, I do have external drives too, to make sure. I don't want to ever be in a position where I can't find
What happened
something.
to that?
Yeah, I don't like that feeling. So
The video from the first Super Bowl, they couldn't find it.
exactly. So we'll pass through master control and then we're going to hit the control room of the other studio. Oh, hey.
Whoa, who saw this coming?
Spence, let's go. We can push past. Yeah, don't show that. Don't show that. Don't show that. God, why would you show that? I know, we're going to be on AV, but we're going to be on AV installed nightmares because of that.
They're always looking for video.
Okay, so this is our main TV studio control room. We have another TriCaster 8000, a Soundcraft SI Expression 3, a NewTek 3-Play for instant replay. We were doing 4-camera replay last Wednesday for our basketball games. A teleprompter that's running auto cue down there. We do have Chiron IP, so the students are learning and building things in Chiron. Another element console for the lights. Different positions we can send different feeds to if they want. Most of them just take the program feed. And what else am I missing in here? Like I said, in the other space, we do have both telex units connected via Dante. So they're coming in here and then going out as a submix. Everything is fed from this room. So this is the main TV studio.
Do you have any issues with lip sync, any kind of latency with the Dante side of things?
Very rarely, because I'm not really using Dante as the first mode in to my TriCaster for the distribution side of it. When I have used it, yes, there is sync issues. So usually I will take something out of a node and put it back in to fix that. But most of the time I have a hardwire connection into the system. So Brooke and Lexi here are actually our anchors for our news show, which happens every Friday at 4. So this is part of our standard setup. We did bring the soft furniture out too because we wanted to show we are able to do multiple types of productions in here. We wanted to be able to have lighting in all the different areas. If we needed to do chroma, we wanted to do a magazine style or our traditional news setup. On the monitor in front of them, they get program preview, they get the teleprompter, and they also get the graphics bus. I can change that however I wish through TriCaster. All of those mix effects are being done by TriCaster. So Spence, why don't you show them the... So that quad grid, I can make it up to 64 if I want to. But they get program on the right, preview on the left there, teleprompter's on the bottom left-hand corner now, and then our graphics bus. If we have a lot of videos, we'll throw the video bus up there so they can see what's coming and they can actually have a countdown in front of them. Well, yeah, so one of our teachers is a director at NBC 10. Yeah, one of our television teachers. So I threw her script up there. This is what she was teaching them when they do their news broadcasts. So we did actually rob the other studio of some of the lighting because we needed it more. Because we were actually doing 2 stand-ups and the desk at one point. And instead of buying more, since we weren't really using it over there, I figured it wasn't going to be missed. We do have the uplighting. We've got some more lights hanging up. We can expand. We have quite a lot of equipment to still play with. In addition, we also have the RE kits, and we have 2 LED divas that change color. They are RGB, and we'll utilize them as well in the studio as well as out on the remotes.
And you're carrying Genlock to all the TVs?
And we have Genlock in the arena too. Every floor pocket has Genlock being sent back.
So all the cameras are remote, everything's switched here.
So we actually will let them do a full-blown production in the control room across the street. So there's a TD, there's a director, all that over there. They are independent. And then over here, we will take their program feed and originate the stream from here, and then inject instant replay or our own program when we do halftime pregame into the stream.
So is that room acting as your master control too, or no?
For a broadcast like that, when we're using stuff across the street and we're doing two things at once, then technically yes. But each of the TriCasters, more than likely, we only are streaming at one location at a time.
Right.
So we just have it set up to stream on every box.
So your connection from there to here is by NDI, so you can
That is
pull in
correct.
everything everywhere?
Correct. Very, very, very rarely do I see dropouts or latency. Knock on wood, I've not had any issues. We've been in here for it'll be 3 years in August that we've been in here.
A lot of that's important. You've already set up the infrastructure.
Correct.
With the network, so there shouldn't be a problem.
That's correct.
That's ideal.
Okay. Then across the way we have our writer's room. That's where our Steadicam's antenna with the Teradek is coming from. And then my favorite rooms of all are these Wenger rooms. Well, you're going to go in with me. Okay? So they are a little small. There are two of them. What I like about these is that first I'll show you, it's part of the audio and video network. So here's the radio station. So it's currently playing. It can operate independently as well, but the real fun part of this room is that it has virtual acoustics in it. So when they play things back, we can change the sound of the room. You might feel a little bit change in pressure in the space. You'll feel it even more when you close the door, but right now we are in an arena.
Wow.
So let's make sure that they can hear this. So you can change the space. If you know nothing about it and you want to work on your aspiring mixtape, which has happened before, you can just hit record. There are mics built into the room. And when you are finished, you hit stop. You can just hit record. There are mics built into the room. And when you are finished, a USB-B connection. It's just another computer. It shows up like a big flash drive.
What are there, speakers behind the walls then?
Yeah. I asked for editing suites. They told me I got the Cadillac version of it. I didn't know what that meant until they left. I'm pretty happy.
Better than a air-cooled chamber.
Yeah. So we could, if we wanted to, we could, I'm tired of hearing the echo, sorry. We could expand or cut them in half. So that's time you want to come out here and play, feel free.
Now, the cool thing is I think the opportunity that the students get to do hands-on real stuff with the latest technology, I think that's a big plus.
I would agree. I see things when we're all people that play with technology or work with technology all the time. When I'm at a broadcast, I'm at a baseball game, I'm looking to see how they're sending video, so I'm constantly talking to everyone that's got something new coming out because I want to be on the cusp of it. It's important for them to understand analog and how things in theory work first. And I believe that fully, but I also believe that they need to be well-versed enough in new technology because a lot of people are looking for not having to train you or spend too much time training you when you get out. So that's the reason that they're on a Steadicam. Sean has been working really hard this entire year to get better at the Steadicam. The Teradeks, when I told people I had Teradeks, they kind of looked at me like I was crazy. What could you possibly use it for? Running up and down a basketball court. That's what I can use it for. Yeah. So we.
Also means you got to go into the gym just to say.
Yeah,
Well, he's a rugby player, so that works. So, any other questions? Were there questions on the stream?
Somebody online was asking about the new building. They want to know, said earlier, I think $4 or $5 million.
So this was a $5 million addition to our Life Center. So
was that for they want to know, is that for the building, the physical building, or was that for?
that's included. That includes the technology and the physical building. So the room count would be, it's 10,000 square feet that was added on. So you have 2 editing suites, 2 television studios, a green room, 2 control rooms, master control, the meeting space, the video coordinator space, the radio suite that has 3 spaces in it, and then the big multi-purpose hall and storage with our closet right here. So that is all within 10,000 square feet. And that was $5 million. Yeah. I'm just teleprompters, old school teleprompters. I did want to thank Steve and Tom for helping to make sure that the stream got up with me today. If I didn't blow up Steve's phone earlier with Google alerts, you might not be seeing us right now. So thank you to both of them for their work in getting this. And the questions, thank you, Tom, for fielding the questions. Hi, Jim. Thanks for some of your questions. Sorry you couldn't be here. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to send them on in. I'll answer anything I can offline, unless there's something now.
Could you mention also where this recording will be available?
Oh, yeah, so the recording will be available for replay after this stream ends. So YouTube will record it, and then after it processes, you go to SMPTE's website, so it's youtube.com/PhyllisSMPTE, and then you'll see all of the previous events as well, including this one. It should populate within an hour or two of us finishing, so you can rewatch it if you are so inclined or you would like to share it. Please feel free to forward it out, and I hope to see you at the next SMPTE Philadelphia chapter meeting. Thanks so much.